So yes, my husband had an affair.
Your husband is a predator that exploited me first. That's not an affair. Hey guys, my name is Kennedy Holyfield. I am the woman that is being spoken about in this video, and of course the full truth is not being painted as expected, and I am here to tell my side of the story.
Hey y'all, so I found this story on TikTok and I wanted to talk about it because I'm really not sure why women put their personal business on social media when they're having marital problems. But as I began to dig and find out more information about the lady, or I should say the wife, I discovered the mistress. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So this story can be a little bit messy, but we're also going to talk about Bible because this is a woman who's a Christian. Her husband is a Christian, and she really believes in marriage, family, and what the Bible says. If you go take a look at her TikTok page, you'll notice that she has a lot of stuff about the Bible and family. And so I wanted to get into it and talk about it. So let's listen to what the wife has to say first, because we want to hear how this whole thing took place from her perception.
I never wanted to come to social media with this. I have honestly just been giving it to God and going to therapy. But let's go ahead and address this comment. At the start of the year, my husband came to me and told me that a woman reached out to him on Twitter asking for help with her business. I don't know what it was about the woman. My husband has worked with many other women before this. It was just something about this woman that I was like, babe, I don't know about this. Something just doesn't feel right. And lo and behold, my intuition was correct. Said business relationship ended up transpiring into something more. When I found out that it was transpiring into something more, I fought my husband on this. I tried to get my husband to understand that what was going on was not right and that he was opening a door for him to fall into a sin that was so much bigger than what he was already committing. And because he was not hearing me, I left my home in the middle of the night, pregnant with nothing. And it all spiraled out of control. And maybe this is where my downfall comes into play, because maybe had I not left from the house, maybe had I fought my husband a little bit harder than I had already been fighting, this relationship would not have advanced in the way it did. My husband sought comfort in this woman. She was giving him something that I was not giving him in those moments. I was definitely being quarrelsome because I just was trying to pound into his head, like, you're gonna fall, you're being tempted and you're going to fall. When I left, he fell. Now, I cannot speak on that. That is not my testimony to speak on. And I'm just gonna leave that there. In that, I decided to stand for my marriage still, and I decided to go with reconciliation rather than divorce. I never defended my husband when it came to him having said affair. I fought my husband. Like I said, I left my house 20 weeks pregnant in the middle of the night with nothing but the clothes on my back because I was so against what was going on. I don't use godly character to hide any darkness. I speak on all the time how my marriage is not perfect. I am not a perfect person. I do use godly character in sense of extending forgiveness to my husband, extending grace to my husband, as well as the woman who was involved with the affair. I did speak to her. I spoke to her on the situation. I told her how I wanted nothing more in life but to be a wife and a mom, and how I felt like that was being attacked. I spoke life into her. I told her that she was a beautiful woman, and I didn't understand how, we were falling into what we were falling into.
It sounds like the wife made a previous video and she got some backlash from some women who didn't feel like she should have given her husband another chance. Now, to that I say, that's that woman's business. She's married. You have girlfriends out here giving multiple chances to boyfriends. And you want a wife who's pregnant, who's having a new baby, to up and leave her husband. Now, I understand what the word of God says. It says that we do have an out. And that goes for men and women. If someone steps out of the marriage and commits adultery, you have the right to divorce them. But that doesn't mean that you have to. And I think this woman right here needs to understand that.
This girl said her husband cheated on her in their first year of marriage while she was pregnant with their first child in her most vulnerable state. And she's sitting up in a video trying to defend him and take accountability. What are we talking about here? Like, I swear, the way Christians make a mockery out of marriage, the marriage as it's described biblically, it's so crazy. Betrayal is grounds for divorce. This man was supposed to protect you in your most vulnerable state. He was supposed to be your covering in your most vulnerable state. And he had an affair in your first year of marriage. Like, that's so crazy. That is so crazy. And to think that this is the person who is literally responsible for your entire your life. If anything was to ever go wrong, this person is making decisions on your behalf. This man chose your most vulnerable moment to betray you. And you're sitting up here on this internet trying to, like, save face. Like, girl, what? This is such a, it just because what? You don't want to be a single mom? Is that what it is? The reality is that you're not safe in a space with a person who could betray you like that. How can y'all normalize cheating to this capacity?
Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that this young lady doesn't have a point. But what I am saying, as far as to anyone who's looking at this from the outside, it's very difficult to walk away from a marriage when you have children. And they're very young, and she's having her, I guess, first child, according to what I've seen on her TikTok. I don't think they have any other children. And this is their first year of marriage. So her showing her husband grace and trying to take that relationship to God is what she should be doing. Her mistake is bringing it to social media. But I want y'all to listen to the rest of what the wife says before we get into what the mistress has to say.
Imagine, I am trying to navigate this journey of motherhood while also being a wife. And it's one of the things that I prayed for so hard. And I just feel like it's been taken away from me just because of this whole scandal. I feel like I've honestly just been living in a vortex. This literally began at the start of the year, and it's currently almost the end of the year. And here I am being harassed by this woman because my husband told her that he had to cut off the affair. As soon as the affair was cut off, it just spiraled into us being these horrible people and saying that we're trying to grow. Yes, we are trying to grow. Yes, we are trying to grow. We are trying to become stronger in our marriage, and I'm trying to, it's just so much. Just so many allegations that are being made and so many lies that are being spewed from the numerous accounts that have been harassing me that this woman has been making.
He also began to sexually harass me by sending his genitals without my permission or it being even a conversation. For example, he sent me a video pulling his pants down in the elevator, exposing his genitals completely to me. He also sent me a picture of him completely naked, exposing his genitals to me as well, completely unprovoked. I now see that was part of the grooming process. He was testing my boundaries to see how far he could go. And at the time, I was slightly desensitized because he has been, meticulously breaking down my guard by one, presenting himself as my mentor, employer, but also the fact that his wife is okay with this behavior. And then also just using the fact that I am still like underneath this contract and I still want to remain connected to him because again, I'm thinking like, okay, like that's weird, but I want success. I just have to deal with it pretty much. And I didn't have to deal with it. I know that now. But I didn't have to deal with it. But at the time I did. I just endured it because I felt like he was my opportunity out of my, hard place that I've been in for years. So during that time as well, but I still wasn't interested, I still was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, I just want to focus on business. You know what I mean? But he was just guilt tripping me, honestly. Like, he was just like, oh, you're missing out on your blessing. God blessing you and da-da-da-da-da, you're going to miss out. And he was just he was like making me feel bad that I didn't want to deal with him. And I'm just like, what? And it worked. Like, it worked. I did start thinking like, damn, like, am I missing out on something? Like, he did, I'm thinking like from all the signs of him, reaching out to me, wanting to work with me, inviting me to Dallas with all these big people, like maybe I am missing out on, you know, being connected to someone who would really help me be on my level. So eventually I kind of succumbed to the manipulation and the grooming, essentially. And I started to accept like his reality, like that this was a poly dynamic, that he wanted to marry me. He wanted me to be his wife. By day 30, I'm fully enmeshed with him, thinking that I am his wife. He is my husband. This is a thing. This is real. It's so embarrassing. And his wife runs away, I believe, one day before we were supposed to go to Dallas.
And because he was not hearing me, I left my home in the middle of the night, pregnant, with nothing.
And he went looking for her, found a tape of her walking out of their apartment. He knew, like, this was another red flag, because after he figured out where she was, he literally posted her on Twitter to be like, oh, my wife is missing, guys, please look out, please. And I'm just like, you know where she is. Like, why are you trying to get attention? Like, that's weird. And I told him to delete it, because I'm like, you know where she is. Like, this doesn't really make her look good. Like, that's weird. Like, what are you doing? So he ends up deleting it. And that's when, after that, he was trying to claim that she might be bipolar, because her mother is bipolar, I believe. And he was trying to claim to her family that she was bipolar, when really she was just running away because his mom had told her to do so, I think. And it was all in an attempt to get him to stop talking to me and like care for her or something like that, I guess.
She's saying that he convinced her within 30 days that they were in a polyamorous relationship, meaning that it's more than two people in the relationship, but that also means that the wife would be okay with this. Because in order to be in a polyamorous relationship, everybody in the relationship has to be okay with it. But now she just said the wife ran away because she wanted him to leave her alone. So this tells me that she knew the wife wasn't okay with the polyamorous relationship that she's claiming he said he wanted. Wait a minute. Okay.
But Dallas was coming up, and I'm like what was going on with her? Like, she was safe, she was like good. I'm still just thinking, like, I'm being pretty selfish, I'm not gonna lie. I'm being pretty selfish. I'm being like a little self-centered, because I'm like, I want to go to Dallas, because this man is promising me that he's gonna like change some things. I'm gonna get around the right people. I'm like, this is an opportunity. Like, I didn't want to lose out on it and miss it. So I get to Dallas. It's like 10:52. We go out. We get some appetizers, get a pizza, whatever. And after that, we come back home. I think we went somewhere else. But no, whatever. It doesn't even matter. We went out, and then we came back home. And I take a shower. I put on my nightdress. I put on a bonnet. And I'm just in bed. Not to mention, I didn't even mention this, that before we went to Dallas, I wanted separate hotel rooms. I did not want to be in the same hotel room as him. But he made me feel guilty about doing that. Like, are you sure you want separate hotel? Do we really have to do that? And I'm just like, yeah, I guess not. You know, just being a people pleaser.
Oh, what? Wait! Huh? Girl.
I'm just laying there, y'all. Like, the bed is vertical. The bathroom is like to the right of the bed. I am just laying on the bed like this, because I am in Dallas, and this is my first time ever meeting this man. I'm thinking that, like, you know, he is like my partner, but at the same time, like, I don't really know him. Like I'm like kind of having that cognitive dissonance. Like, you know, he says these things, but at the same time, I don't know this man. So I am just laying there like this. He comes out the shower this way. He comes out the shower. He gets here. Like, he comes out the shower from here, gets on top of me from here, pulls my dress up, pushes my legs back. Sorry, not to get graphic. And then he asked me, like, and like, it's just one movement. It's not, are you okay? Like, let me do this. Like, are you good? Like, how are you feeling? Like, no, it's bathroom. He's here. Pulls my dress out, pushing my legs back. He's naked, comes out completely naked. And he's like on his knees and, you know, full body, like, and he's like, she's like, are you sure you're ready for this? Like, are you ready for this? He said something along those lines. And I'm like, no. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? But I freeze because it's already in motion. Like, I don't know, like, he's not a small man. I mean, it's like 6'4", 2 something, 6'3", 2 something. And he's on top of me. I said no, and he penetrates me. He starts having sex with me. And the whole time, I'm just thinking, like, oh shit. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to curse. But it was just like a yikes. Like, in my mind, I'm just like, yikes, like, this is happening, yikes, you know? And afterwards, I remember just feeling like, dang, I did not want that to happen. Like, I'm just like kicking myself. But I'm not processing that he just assaulted me. I'm thinking, I just did something that I didn't want to do. And this man is also telling me that he loves me. I'm his wife. So, oh well, pretty much.
I didn't even know this story was going this deep. I am watching this unfold with y'all. And I chose this because I literally was about to talk about why do people put their marital business on social media. And because this woman is also giving her husband another chance after cheating, and they're into the word. Well, maybe she's the only one into the word because her husband, I'm not so sure about. Do y'all hear all of this? Y'all make sure y'all like the video and subscribe to the channel, okay? This took a lot of digging and research. Good googly boogly. It is so much more to this than I believe that I have found. For her to say that the husband did something that she didn't want to do. I put those captions at the bottom of the video because if you're going to stay at a hotel with a married man, if you believe that this is a polyamorous relationship, but she's never met the wife, where is the wife? If you came out and said that the wife is the one you're talking about when nobody knew who you were, because the wife does not have a large following on TikTok or on Instagram, you wanted to be known. And now you're trying to make it as if you're the victim and the wife is the villain. But to say that you're groomed and all of you all are around the same age, no, baby, this is something that you wanted to do with somebody's husband. Because the moment that this man started coming on to you and this was not business related, she should have ended the relationship or what would have been a business relationship right then and there. But she wanted opportunity because she believed that he was going to give her something that she couldn't get herself. And let me just put this out here. They're into real estate. So she's been into real estate. She hasn't been doing well in it. And I guess she hired him to mentor her. I'm not saying that he didn't talk a good game and all of that. But sis, you should have known better. And this is for anybody watching this video. This is a no. This is a no.
Husband had an affair. It was decided on to go the route of reconciliation. However, with that being the route that we chose, I don't think that it's fair that I'm being harassed. The numerous calls, the numerous emails, the fake accounts that are demoralizing my character, I just don't think it's fair. And honestly, I am just ready to lay this all to bed.
sorry, sister. It's no coming back from this. Your face is everywhere, and they're going to call you a dummy forever. If this is really where you want to be, if this is really what you prayed for, take it off social media. They never going to be on your side. Not, the ones as delusional as you, yeah. But at the very least, stop posting them, sis.
Okay, y'all, this is where we're going to end this story at. But I want to give you just a little bit more background. She met her husband and they dated for 1 year. They went to the courthouse and they got married. And they've only been married for 1 year. And so I guess within that time frame after they got married, she got pregnant and she's already had the baby. This man has been talking to this woman since February of 2025. The wife is claiming that this woman is stalking her, creating fake pages, and all of the things. We need to pray. We need to pray. This is a really young couple and they have a baby. And I don't know what this man is thinking. I don't know if he married this woman because he truly wanted a family and he truly loved her, or was it something else to it? I don't know. And I hope to God that he's not playing with her, because we do have so many great women out here that wind up heartbroken because of men who mishandle them. And so we want to pray for her. We want to pray for their baby. We want to pray for the marriage. They have a little girl together. And we want to pray for the young lady who got involved with him and all of the things. I still find that there's something fishy about this whole story, because this woman is claiming that she's being harassed. The young lady is claiming that she has been SA'd, but has not filed a police report. She just went online with her story. And it's just a lot. And as people of a particular age, and even if you're not, and you are a believer, we need to pray, because the wife truly believes that God sent her this man, and the enemy is attacking their marriage. So, sometimes we can marry the enemy, though. We just don't know it until later. Which is really unfortunate, but I'm hoping that's not the situation. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole story in the comments below, because that's what I'm here for.